Tibet, the roof of the world. A place which was completely closed to the outside world until the beginning of the 20th century. Only very few travelers made their way through the protecting mountains of the Himalayas. Today we're traveling there on the highest railway in the world, the Beijing-Lhasa Express, touching thin air plateaus more than 5,000 meters above sea level. I am carrying video postcards from two Tibetan refugees, two 23-year-old men who left their homes and parents 10 years ago. My objective is to find their families in Tibet and deliver the messages. It all began in the spring when my journey took me to India. In India, the road conditions are in some places better than in Estonia, but there are parts which are completely handmade. But look at the smile. In 1950, the Chinese invaded Tibet. The communist repression resulted in an uprising in 1959 and eventually led to the Dalai Lama's escape to India. 80,000 Tibetans followed him. Tibet is still a part of China. To date, hundreds of Tibetans risk their lives every year hoping to cross the mountains to northern India. The paradise on earth, Dharamsala. The upper town, McLeod-Ganji, has become one of the most important strongholds of exiled Tibet. The residence of Dalai Lama, Tibetan exile government and parliament, monasteries, schools, and orphanages are situated here. The children's village hosts more than 2,000 young refugees, most of whom have come here on their own. Their parents have stayed behind out of spite against the authorities, duty to their cattle, and out of love for their home. To my surprise, the children call themselves orphans, and there's a number of reasons behind that title. For instance, the children who come from nomad families often lack the information regarding their parents' whereabouts, as the grazers change locations several times a year. The families from villages, on the other hand, may be forcefully relocated to districts of panel houses. And even if the family has remained in the same place and has an address, maybe even a phone, the children are weary of contacting their parents, because there is not a letter or a phone call that is not inspected by the People's Republic of China. The influence of China has been injected into every aspect of life over the years. The younger generation has mostly been affected by the reforms in the educational system. Chinese has gradually become the language of study, and secondary education is no longer free. Tuition fees amount to sums impossible to be afforded by the large Tibetan families. Tashi and Dorje undertook the long and rough journey over the Himalayas to study Tibetan language and culture, although hundreds of kilometers away from home.
Topo, my friend. Taluchi Kanzala has Luchi Kanzala, Gandakali Chiretine, but under Topo Chambuche. No Pansala, Kangas, no Patsarachigare.
Dorje left home in 1998, but it took him a whole year to reach Dharamsala due to the obstacles faced through his way. His parents considered him dead for years. Only 4 years ago, he managed to send a shred of information via his older brother. I am alive and in India. Tashi's difficult journey from the far northeastern border of Tibet started in June 1999. He arrived in India 3 months later. In the mountains, the refugees battle with snow blindness, freezing cold and hunger, snipers near the border of Nepal, and bounty hunters, who make substantial amounts of money from the Chinese government for killing Tibetan refugees. Listening to those stories, something kept scratching in my soul until I found a way to deliver news from these children to their parents. I recorded the video postcards. They also gave me the contacts of their childhood friends and directions on the map for my quest. I started by looking for Tashi's family in the town of Chengdu in southwest China, where his childhood friend Samdup was supposed to live. Discovering that we were Tashi's friends who had come to deliver a present to his parents, he was instantly ready to help us, because he was the only one who knew where they lived. Upon our arrival, I looked up their phone number in my secret notebook, and we gave Tashi's family a call.
Hey, Google. You can't read the Man, the
Tashi's father was surprised of our arrival. It appeared that the family did not live far from our location, and he suggested a suitable meeting place.
Maybe he's the one.
He works very hard.
Yes, the 6 cents around like 5 girls. 6 cents around 7 cents.
Bunlar.
Nasıl bile? 그때 환년이 야 환년에다 가버리년에 같이 담바이니만 야나면 살아 타나스 아마 티테 지다라 허스트리 그지 정말 따따 그 말이다 그건 지금 말이 따따
At home, Tashi's sister and mother awaited us and quickly prepared aromatic jasmine tea and offered us the baked goods of Tibet's most important annual event, the New Year Losar.
나 그거 양도가 제른디가 쓰면서. 그 하란디가 시작했나 그라야 디가 시작했어. 디가 그냥 런성가 고무 이방부터 뜻이긴데. 그래서 미쳐 아자 누지게 되게 되나 샤느라마 되게. 나 몸을 찾는 그가 하라파나 그야. 나 트라파나 그야 대박겠어. 나 제제라 됐다. 고시 주고나 chantam 무슨야 그 기사들이야 대용세네.
아자단지 다 상상된 노래 안에 참마다 있나 싶지 문제 실행하이나 이치 समाज पुदे मोता संबाच पुदे जुगे मोलम तारिवाते जाके तेमसे पेने गासो जेरिमारी माथुथुने के मोलम लारिवाते या जाके ता ngaina ta chi yang samthi guchen ro chi yon mare ta dane chi ta jormuchi katringe ta chi susu chi sa ta thona ta de ta che samata chi pudi mulindna da tanga tusim bana ta dane da re ta aputisfina ta ngoma akawande de segel haptatna yo atane ta tusi ta gyanda ro chi ga chi chi orda da no dikchila pi mende konde onre dana nda da tusi de tangi lu thamatere ta tusi ta lu da chichi chigni gi na tele atane ta susu mutskina ne chi mawara ya kange thekre sa gi ta chi samgra mandu ta chi thalung ni lu angaz ne denzgil hobjun de gi se gore tandgel hobjung li da jana ta lu nga zikjila ta abamani ga gon lu la ta dinchi arsen jo kore ta dinchi arsen jona ta chi samlu nang na chi mahche sa zo ne ta ara ta susugum sin de na hamani ga la shapshi chi ga chi matha samya ge de ga ne khila chi tang gore ta ne ta chiang ron de ta chiang ron nyang ji ta ngune nitsi kanza la ya hamani ga dos ata shapshi chi de kore ta kata ka gar da ina ta hama ga katan sa ya ti ta shinte ta haching ke chambore chitge na nga chugala mawana jekmare chi nga chugim bana chi chasona chu samnin ge jekmare asamlare ta iwa tyang khan ro je khapran ro jap chi kechan ro ku tam wala ta amagi nga mara shoksa go ro ta mara shok na ta chi ara chi yon chugin ro chi ta mek nga im bana ta iwa yon na ta dokra ta use na ta sansama nilam na tang do ko nyalmana tanga yuwale chi tang hama thu ju ta kachan ro she chi tum te nyalamla tang jura tang gra ta chi susu mskin ne susu gi chi chena chunu gi yonden zi ma jang ta yuwa yong jang la te ge hen che zam thuke sam de yo te ge ta tandong lu chatila lobjong chi tang ta ji zine ta ku chi thu ju ye odanga dum de dong ju gan ro go ta ni ma ta par san sama zo ji ten de zo ya lang ta ni ta ji ro tang ka chi gore ni tiran ta ji chi tang chi sama chi pu di mu yo ne go malam chak ye ya yen de la ya mi na ya za yen si ye ru si ya yen de la ya mi xie le ya ye li yen si ye ru
Dakwa chen dagun kadal ta ngicho che rkhayong tena ngichu gtil ta ngichula gada ama ngichu chipuil da nurgna ta chula ama ga trengiznu te tendeze nyen marta ama ga na chu trenu tila ha thama chu ranga sane ranga danla ti zal ranga masi chiku gun danla te chipu chu maka ranga chipu de mulen de jutiri ta iva ta chen dang jam go ngichula ta chipu da na ta handi tongsan lika dig tendeze tagmagu ta je ach khruga dig ta kunur ta che achla ka center chi gu ta ach center chi mugu ta handi lo ton lenju khurure ta ton lenju handi lo tona armani ach sangla za sa kangung lirgo kidaner tigitna muga khurula kan ba ko numare ta churang ta maka rang nya sesh kutte chipu de mugu chuazuro chuten dang jakunure ta chi yugla ka che center chi mugu ta tang ajala ani hande yojnar hagla ta hande yon mare rang sabzung ta ngichu chikure ta ajan jumezu wa ta shunga jikpa chkhdan ta chi ergijna ta shunga zamaglgun dumuz tanga ga ajan jumez smuti in mare ta jikpa chkhdan
da ta chi wa senkhur gun mare ta ngichu gun dagon churgdo ta sargara dershna che rkhachugi cherong 이와 생크르군 말은 거 치다 리칼라 tumte tanga tena te chide sonda ke gumula chaka chi saunda kida charanga ranga huwa dakuna ranga huwa tende zam shagmuda
ta orshe talandi de khundin jena wa ka ta leshung sozu nyanju lishung sondi de khundi wa ka ta nyemgu gesno de khundin jena wa ka ta jena ta lozon chi nigi kha wa ka 다 하시시 아까라 때터게 인지는 디도 혼데 인지는 치와 그 카프르드 동화 지그니아 그추 인지는 와그 영어 데트게 인지는 카프르글라카네 일라요 아크추 식식 터는 거라 다 가다즈가 영어 특가 자리 예스고노 드시다 동화다 인지나다 아니케고 인지나 와그 다 디무시 탈시 딜럭시
After experiencing supreme hospitality, we took along the parents' video postcard to Tashi and continued our journey with a warm feeling in our hearts. While finding Tashi's family was relatively easy, it proved much more difficult locating Dorje's parents. 4 years ago, Dorje's brother had told him that their parents had left the old homestead and moved to Lhasa. But this was the last piece of news that ever reached him. We decided to try our luck and examine the possibilities of traveling to Lhasa using a local travel agency.
Just get a permit and then go in there. But it's not working right now. So.
It's not working. What happens?
Well, we are not given any tourists, just permit. We can give them.
After the uprising in March 2008, getting to Lhasa had become a lot more complicated. In addition to an already expensive permit, we needed to buy a whole package, which contained a strict route and a tour guide, without whom it was supposedly not allowed to move around. Being already nervous about the upcoming trip to Lhasa, fate sent me another warning. I fell ill. I had caught a suspicious virus, which no one could even translate to me.
Since to help others is our pleasure.
Sweet melodies played in the corridors of the train, which, accompanying the landscape sliding by, gave us a feeling like we were traveling through Austria. But this illusion was broken when we discovered that the passengers were divided into cars by their nationalities. The few Western tourists traveled in the comfortable cabins. The Chinese were in the middle and the Tibetans in the last car, in which the strong yak butter smell attacked our nostrils. Mantras whispered by the elderly buzzed in our ears, and children greeted us with enlivening voices. Browsing through the Tibetan car with the camera, we were noticed by a monk, a respectable man claiming to be 2 levels short of becoming a lama. Soon he entered our cabin with a plea for help. He was carrying a small video camera, but he could not operate it. A little later, he was already filming the merry company of our cabin and then left thanking us from the bottom of his heart.
This one.
But a nagging doubt sprouted in my soul. It could have been a fake monk working for Chinese government, recording our faces for yet another file. Tibetans do not generally have money to buy a video camera, let alone monks who live on charities. In the evening lights, the Potala Palace glowed in the distance. Welcome to Lhasa. Our guide who met us at the station took us straight to the hotel. Making arrangements for the next morning, we innocently told the guide that we needed a long rest. After the guide's departure, we took our first walk in the late-night Lhasa, where we met a group of children singing an already familiar hit song by Pupudi Namgyal. In the next morning, during the citywide cleaning day, our small camera caught a glimpse of the snipers who have been scanning the streets since March 2008. I used the opportunity to call Dorje's childhood friend, who luckily answered and agreed to meet us. But our first conversation was cut short as our all-important excursion was going to start in a matter of minutes. We set another meeting for the next day and hurried back to the hotel. But Lhasa's sightseeing tour revealed that our guide knew less of the local history than we did. Dorje's friend brought her mother and Dorje's brother along to our next meeting, which took place in an outdoor cafeteria as it was the safest possible place.
We visited India a few weeks ago. And we met your brother there.
Their father, mother is Chamdu, not Lhasa.
And the parents went 10 days ago. Father and mother, they went to Chamdo 10 days ago. Is this correct?
After some misunderstanding, it was clear that Dorje's parents had left Lhasa and lived the distance of a 3-day journey. We, however, lacked the permit to travel there, and our financial situation did not allow us to make last-minute changes. On top of all that, our guide was to put us on the train leaving Lhasa in 3 days' time. The brothers' call to the parents' village gave us a faint hope that they might reach us before we had to leave. Soon the phone at the hotel rang, and there she was, Mother. Father, unfortunately, had not been able to make it. To translate the Lhasa dialect, we invited the Estonian interpreter, Kadri. We played the video postcard without further loss of time. Dorje's mother saw and heard her son for the first time in 10 years.
palada amalada ti chuchuchi aja nomin somalalia tishitelele ti ngorotanda kiche so sajati ngarongi non magyonji non re ti tirinde ngarongi ron somalalia kiche ravati kaushu chungsura kiko yabshu rasonti ti ngorote jawa telali dalo Julia Sonsin Dogore, the Yayundi Somalia, the Kangamuchi, Yungubi Kupaso, the Mansugi, Nanjit, Millennium, the kitchen with in this Somatinolia, Rojonche, Tajongi, kitchen with Charis. Just until Rojonche in the Somalia, Satari Mushuji, Pamatan, Pinji Somakatici, Yunreti, Jojoton, Kuting to Somo with Nore, then some meeting Nigi so symptomatic idea. Mean but in all lecture lessons, dear, then some Tinolia. Niki continue to look on TV, the Tomungano, that I suggest the Tandat and Zilachini Chavore, but you Jaiton Shibinati, Tashul Talon Dore. Teaching someone in Zilla look, choose Noria and Zilachini, Tandachini draw, Marumid Karcha Lanati, the Mumuito, the Anchichi was also member Chialete, and Zilachini draw Talon, in the Somba Sea. The deans and thing of the system with a jar, Jane is the ton, Sashu, the Giuliati, once upon the Jagi lettered, Tashu lettered in a dogore. Among our own, but for young Puccini, to meet Somala Pintuaki, with Somalia, for young to Momba Michiaki, Muzo this in the world, but Chitan by special Kibutina, Mano Pantovin and Dromatiesta, and the Kichagmas on dinner, once you give me meeting on Kichiti, special Mare in a Rojan Chatteris.
Dorje, as an excellent student, is a school prefect and helps to organize events, like the celebrations of the 48th anniversary of the Tibetan Children's Village, in which even His Holiness the Dalai Lama participated.
Chandra, that low churches retile. What if I did you my change then into the Mopele change Yamucha or Sajo Yamucha? Let that you open up a letter and draw no much change your Sajo Yam to the K ending opinion or Ataya Caro Dodo ya. Maru Chuchu in the last, or a Pogun Chuchu in the, or a Pogun dead Chuchu in the I ponded the Momatiga in the Kama in the Mopesa, Joyama, Jan Joyama, Ataya, Lamboja, and Trout good Mr. Jan Jama got there. Or Chiro Teddy Roca in the Tio, no to Guamma, Karukama Sam, Chebu man, Gongo, on Tell Tom Seda Sergeant Lijo, Chetau Mare. Oh, this Jammy Dupoti and Eddie. Mama ngope Sergeant told you your Teddy Roca to the Chintisimaj. Mana Kalitia go, or shoot and Penjin, Ro Jama Chia go, or Jiri Jin Mananguji and Chedana Pincheta, no Mosumana, ya. Ja di all chesi majun ta ta son lota ton sa fayoren o chopo pana pandro lopam gijoje me maria son li sabare dre o ta son no godo sa ju change liskin de media che me ngofe no de mano me roka indi ngoma chara lambo je changu me sa son ton wala change tada ma chara lambo je ate lambo je ane ya changu ndi ja tu che sa jo tamba do sa jo meni mena ja di all de de Mama Sajo many manaya tea and duru good tea, no chepe musu, manaya and Yagurmate, Karuja, Rukatu, may I go to see my he can over Treko Gunji Jolly Ungu, Mata iki nobu meani ngoma lito pia ne nonjo meani mata no pama ninga kyango konti du meli re iki nobu kutse teru kutse kya be teru iki nobu njika toji oli ungo peke teken kwa bon togo jasa de ja injo pesa de be injo sonji gitemba togo iki nobu pana de trita mate ku mutu Deterong mano jedenos le dai que no btete querogoro jasa jainjo pesa penjo jol sonji kitemba tok taki dele Sanga yo no mana pai shi tomb jola din de pel pa korola je pai dan ko ali marate sonji cha karo pai shi reason ali pai sama reason ali tero dangi shi sonji kuyamat de satia rimbo han panapa tda ko joli ko toyi le di shi tomb jola cha pai sama intendi
I gave Dorje's mother the DVD of the video, hidden behind the protective glances of Hollywood classics, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. We left Lhasa with the best wishes and peace in our hearts. We understood that only by helping others can we experience the ultimate joy. The snowstorms finally hit the Tibetan plateau. The roads became impassable, and the messenger had to bring her journey to an end. But there are still thousands of Tibetan children in India, dreaming of meeting their parents at home again. Love and cherish your parents while you still have them.